Hey now, hey now, hey now, what's going on? What's happening, people? What's happening? What's happening? It is a Wednesday all day. Yeah, I know I was supposed to be out skeet shooting today, but the guy I was supposed to go with uh, ended up having a migraine, so we didn't get to go. So lucky you. So guess what? I'm here. Hey, anyway, um, I got something new going on. I'm gonna see if someone picks up on it. Got something new going on. I'm gonna see if someone picks up on what I got new going on today. See if y'all figure it out. Got something new going on. That's all I'm saying. Hey, number two, second thing, or is that the third thing? Skeet shooting, got something new going on. Oh, third thing. Um, I'll be posting some pictures later on today when I get off here. But I just want to, again, a shout out and a thank you to those who always, anytime I ask that I need something, comes through for us and giving us the ability to go out and help people that need help. So thank you so much for the stuff that you guys continuously help us out with. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Met some new homeless people today, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Met them, had an opportunity to talk with them and things. So again, thank you guys very much for that. I appreciate it. Um, what else was there? I am. Oh, Monday. Oh, I'm gonna have a awesome. Brad and I got a letter almost 2 years ago. Tell you about this. Tell you about this real quick. So I got a letter because I had already always been said, since I left Tennessee, it's been years since I've been in a tractor or drove a tractor. Um, and I got a letter almost literally 2 years ago. This guy sends me this letter. He says, "Hey, Rev, if you ever need," what was that? He said, "Hey, Rev, if you ever need some I mean some downtime," he said, "why don't you come out to the farm?" He said, "I'm about an hour and 35 minutes away from you. You should just come out for the day and hang out, and I'll let you drive any tractor you want." That's where I'm going Monday. I'm going to, it's down south. Um, so I hit Brad up. I go, "Brad, let's go drive tractors, man." I said, "We need a break. I mean, here we are. We're out here. We're doing this. We're doing that. We need a break." So we're going down south on Monday morning. It's an hour and a half drive to drive tractors. He's going to be we're going to be harvesting hay, the hay barrels. So I get to drive. I get to drive the tractor that harvests that thing. If a drone, if a drone or something flies over, a drone flies over the field, and I beat and carved a G. I beat and carved a G in the guy's field. You know it's me. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm not even. I'm not going to get on this here. I'm not even gonna. I'm not even going to bring this up today. I was going to say something about. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Now I don't look. Hold on. Let me say this here. Okay. I am a traditional man. I'm an old school. I was brought up that way. I was brought up by a military man, and I'm old school. And one of the things that I don't believe in it, whether it's in the bathroom, whether it's in a town hall, if all women town hall, men do not belong in women's spaces. Y'all can hate me for saying what I'm saying. You can call me phobic, whatever you want to. That's just the way I see it. I just don't believe men belong in women's spaces. We just don't. No. Period, point blank. Period, point blank. That's all I'm saying about that. I don't believe that men belong in women's spaces like that. And y'all know what I'm talking about. That's just the way I see things. I don't expect my wife to do certain things. If something goes bump in the night, I don't expect my wife to get up. That's my job. I'm that old school. I'm that old school that when we walk in, if you ever see us walking somewhere, you will notice my wife walks on this side of me all the time. She knows. I open the door for my always. I don't expect her to open the door for me. Now I'm not saying that I hold on. I'm not saying that I've always done that. It was when I started reading my book and start realizing how the importance of being a man. That's what the book teaches you. How important it is to be a man. And when you're giving, when God gave us the gifts, if you're married or got a girlfriend or you, that's a gift from God, right? And not only is she a gift from God, if you put a ring on this woman's finger and you'd have married this woman, not only is she a gift from God, God made it to where the gift that he gave you can give you gifts would be your kids. Think about that for a second. No, sit back and think about it. See, once you start reading your book, you start understanding your place on this here space that God put. If God would have made woman first, but he didn't do that. Not only did he not do that, but what he did is he made man first. Correct? I'm just, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody. God made the man first. Not only did he make the man first, but he had the man in a position to show him how to be a man, what it's going to take for him to do the right things. And now, we don't always get it right. I'll be the first one to sit here and tell you, I did not get it right. I was the worst husband. I was the worst father. I was the worst son. I was. I have no problem telling my story until I started understanding that God gave us the ability as men to lead. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Now, I'm not saying, don't hold on, for somebody to get on here and be like, or Rev Ben, what do you call that? When they call you and say that you're anyway, you know what I'm talking about. No, I'm not saying that women don't have a right. Like my wife. My wife do a lot. I just sit back and I don't bug my wife into things she do. It's just like when my kids was at home. I knew things were bad when they came to me. My wife would handle everything. I mean, I didn't know a lot. Till this day, we sit at the dinner table sometimes, and I'm sure y'all are like this too, but we sit at the dinner table now, right? And my kids tell me all of this stuff that they've done. I had no clue. No clue. Zero clue. Only time I got picked to take care of everything is when the wife couldn't handle it. So that's when I know it was bad. When she come to me and say, you need to go talk to your boys, I knew what that meant. I knew exactly what that meant. That meant they did something so bad that she could, and when she can't handle it, it's my turn. But that's where God puts us as men. That's who we are. That's who we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be the protector, the provider, right? Everything they go up. I got the umbrella. It's my umbrella. I'm holding an umbrella that says God, and we're all under that umbrella. But I am standing while they are pretty much sitting, being protected. I feel the same way with my boys. I feel the same way with my boys right now. Like I said, I call my boys just to make sure that everything's good. Is there anything that dad needs to do? Nope. Okay. I'm still dad. My boys are 30 and my boys are 30, 35 and 30. But I'm still dad. Same thing with being papa. Oh, don't mess. Like I tell my kids, my boys, anybody mess with my grandkids, y'all don't have to worry about it. See, Papa ain't gonna be here much longer, so I can do that time in jail. I have no problem with that. I have zero problem. Somebody mess with my grandkids, I have no problem with that. Zero. It's just like when I was sitting there talking to my wife about if my wife and I was to go to Valley Fair. Let's say we go to Valley Fair. And the next thing I know, some dude in a dress with lipstick, with a wig on, go walking in the bathroom with my granddaughter and my wife. See, this is why I look at it and say these liberals here in Minnesota is trying to get us manly men put in jail. No, that's what they're doing. They're trying to get us manly men who will protect our family at any cost put in jail. Because if I go in that bathroom, it's not going to be a good situation. I'm just saying. That's why I say there are places men should not be when it's a woman's space. And as a man, I got every right to protect what God gave me. God gave me them to protect them. He didn't give them to the government. I married my wife who had my sons, who had my grandkids. It's my job. My job. And if you don't see it that way, that's fine. I'm not telling y'all how to do you. That's how I do me. You're not going to get me in this situation where I'm believing something that's just not right. And it's not right for men to be in women's spaces. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Y'all, like I said, you can get mad at me for saying what I just said if you want to. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I'm good. I can take it. Trust me, I've been called worse, whatever you're gonna call me. I've been called worse and been told I was worse than the worst of worst. And that's cool. That's cool with me. That's cool with me. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to get off on that tirade, but I just wanted to put that out there. Men should not be in women's spaces. No way, shape, or form. Now, if the dude was, I watched this show. I watched this show a while back called Cheer, and it had the guys. There was guys on there. They'd be the guys who throw the girls in the air. Y'all seen them? Y'all seen them? They throw the girls in the air and all that there type of stuff. That's cool. That's cool. That's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be the base, right? That's what they call them. They're the base. Now, if you're gonna be a man and you're gonna be in it, but anyway, yeah, you ain't never gonna make me believe that no. When you add the pom poms in there, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I see things totally different from every. Who is this bugging me right now? And what do they want? Maybe it's just me. And maybe I just see things a lot different now because Kevin Cash, Mr. Cash. Yeah, I gotta hit him up in a little bit. Kevin moved down. Kevin and Mrs. Cash moved down to two of my favorite people. Moved down to Florida, and as soon as they got down there, a hurricane hit because they're Viking fans. They're Viking fans that moved down to Florida. That's all I'm saying about that. Anyway, so today I've got to answer Cynthia Jackson over on Facebook because I had put a picture. I met Mayor Fry, and I posted a picture of me and Mayor Fry, and I said that if you run into Mayor Fry, to let him know that you have his vote, that you're going to vote for him and you are behind him, especially black folks. And Cynthia said, hold on, let me make sure. I want to make sure I get it right because I told her I was going to tag her. I told her when I'm done tonight, I'm going to tag her in this here because I wanted to answer her question. I wanted to answer her question because she says to me, she goes, on that picture, she says, you can't be serious. And I said, like I told her, I'll talk about it tonight to let her know. But before that, I said, Cynthia, very much so. And we was talking, and then she hit me with the sad face about Mayor Fry. So let me say this here, and let me put this as plain as day. And I know people, like all the time, anytime I say something, it pisses people off. But then they sit back for a second and they think about what I said, and then they go, well, I'm still pissed at him, but he's right in what he said. Right now, Mayor Fry is the stopgap. Because if we let certain people get into office, because Dwayne don't have a chance and Jazz don't have a chance. Let's be real about this situation, okay? I mean, we can play this noise. We can mess with people's feelings. I ain't got time for feelings right now. We're in a situation as black folks that we have sat back. Yes, we did. We've sat back and we've let a group of people come into this state 5 years out and have passed us in pretty much every sense there is of being a Minnesotan. Yes, they have. Because as black people, we too busy fighting with each other. As black people, look, we got black folks that's mad at other folks because they getting paid and the other person isn't getting, bitching and moaning. Because I guarantee you, the very people who are bitching and moaning about the money, if they got the money, and I'm going to tell you how I know that in a second. Remind me to tell you how I know what I'm telling you right now. But the people who are bitching and moaning about the people who are getting the money, they're bitching and moaning because they don't get the money. If they got the money, you would never hear from them again. Because and I'm going to tell you why I say that. Because most of the people who's on Facebook right now bitching and moaning about money, I have put money in their pocket. The very people who are on Facebook bitching and moaning about money and what they would do if they had money, I put money, no. Not money in their pocket to help the community. I put money in their pocket to help them. Those are facts. The very people out here talking about what they're doing to the community and how they're doing. Here's my thing. If you need to start a nonprofit, if you need to get on Facebook and all this here to act like you're doing something in the community, but you're broke and you can't even can't even do for yourself. Stop with the community thing. You know why I can do what I do? Know why I don't need the money that you guys send me? Because I got a good job. My wife has a good job. My car works just fine. 2016 Ultima. I don't need a fancy car. I don't need a BMW to drive around in. My car works perfect. I don't live in a big house. I got a small house. But it's my house. We paid a note on it. A lot of these people who are out here call themselves doing for the community. Are trying their best to get a check. Let's call it what it is. I see it. I see it. Don't act like I don't see it. And then those who don't get the checks are the ones that's running around bitching and moaning about the people who are getting the check, who are spending it basically on themselves. So while we are fighting each other, while we are doing and saying the things that we're saying to one another, and while we can't come together, we can't. I got pastors who are saying they won't work with other black pastors. That's how bad we are. If you only knew what it took. Anyway, what I'm saying is we are in trouble as a black community. We are. We are. And everybody tell what Cynthia say. Oh, well, you want to get behind someone who wants to put more police on the street. Right? That's usually the reason everybody, if you notice, anytime I talk about Mayor Fry, anytime I talk about Minneapolis, anytime I talk about the police or whatever, it's always we want to put more, we have to have, it's going to be more cops on the street, right? And I have said on many, many occasions, see, they don't like to really hear what I say because they have this mindset already set up that this is what they're going to say, no matter what I say. I have just as many complaints at the 4th precinct as everybody else do. I know what the jump out boys can do. I know what the police do. I've been on the corner of Broadway in Lindale. I've been on Penn and 36. I've been on Penn and 35th. I've been on 26th Street. I've been on James and Bryant. I've been on 14th. I've watched the police do things that I know just as well as y'all know should not be done. I know that. I was out there when Jamar Clark was shot. I was out there when we protested about the Christmas tree, the racist Christmas tree. I know what the police department we're dealing with. I'm not stupid. I have read the DOJ report, and that's what I tell everybody else. Read the DOJ report. You will understand why people in that community sees the police the way that they do. But this is what I can tell you point blank. This is what I know for a fact. Take the police off the street. Take them completely off the street. All hell would break loose. All hell would break loose. Right now, the only reason it's not breaking because there is somewhat of a presence. It takes them forever to get there because there's not that many. Because they've decided I don't need to work in Minneapolis and send myself to jail. Now, let's talk about a couple things that I hit on that Fry, I feel Fry should answer about Amir Locke. But did the community hold him to account for that? What was your eye at then? Okay. Where with all this money, this fraud going on, and no money coming into the black community to help any of the black kids, where you at? This is what I know. I'm going to tell you what I know. The dude who wants to run and who is running for the mayor of Minneapolis right now. If y'all don't know what a socialist is, which half black people don't know, have no clue. Let's be real. Let's be real. Let's be real. I want you to look that up. I want you to understand what you are dealing with. Now, I know some of you already know. You already look at it and go, wow, I know what a socialist is. That means they steal from the rich and give to the poor. What I'm saying to black people now, it's time for us to stop sitting around waiting for handouts. Period, point blank, man. Enough's enough. Because in 5 years from now, there's not going to be anything for you to stick your hand out for. Mayor Fry is the stopgap to where Mayor Fry is the stopgap to where we can finally get our act together. We ain't together at all. We're so far, and everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. Why do you think the white liberals stopped messing with us? Because we're a mess. And they decided to go do what? All of them people they brought in from everywhere else. And they put them right dab smack in your community. And they say, as long as you is loyal to us, and they are, they're very loyal, we're going to take care of you. And they've done that. Look at St. Louis Park. Look at Bloomington, Hopkins, Burnsville, Lakeville, Llano Lakes. Look at St. Cloud. And it's going to keep going because they can't keep these people in one area. They have to move. And see, here's the thing that cracks me up about this whole thing. Not just what the white liberals have done, because that's who did this. Look it up. Look it up. Not just what the white liberals has done. It's just everybody who sat back and says, as long as it stays in North Minneapolis, got you, right? As long as it stays in North Minneapolis or in Minneapolis, we don't care. Don't matter to us. Then all of a sudden, Edina. Look up Edina. And it's spreading and it's moving. And now everybody, oh Lord, look at what's going on. Bloomington. I was just in Bloomington last month, right? Right? I was in Bloomington at a meeting. People in Bloomington is freaking out. They're losing it. They didn't think that was going to happen to their community. They done pushed black folks aside a long time ago. We don't even count anymore. We don't. We don't. We can't find people who can run for school boards and all that stuff. They getting seats on school boards. They got seats on city council. They got seats in the Senate. They got seats in the House of Representatives. And if you put them in a seat as mayor, they go from mayor to wanting to be what? That's when I'm going to sit back and go, it's over. I'm going back down south. When they start running for governor, I'm going back down south. See you, peace. But Mayor Fry is the stopgap to that. He's the one. If we put these people and we give these people more power than what they should have. See, these white liberals don't care because let me explain to you. These white liberals see power, right? Power. And that's why they're moving them all around us. That's why they're moving them all around the state. This is about power, people. This is about staying in power. They don't care what they give up or who they give it to. Just as long as they can control the people that they are giving it to, and that will keep them in power. If y'all don't see this, somebody, lady says to me today, well, why aren't we having town halls on this? Because nobody gonna show up. I'll call a town hall. I'll be more than happy. I'll be more than happy to hold a town hall somewhere. Tell me where I can hold a town. I'll be more than happy. Let's see how many people show up so we can talk this through, so we can come up with something. The problem is nobody's going to show up until it's too late. See, right now, everybody feels that they can look into their little Ring camera and people are standing on their sidewalk. I got nothing to worry about. I'm all the way out here. They're on my sidewalk. So what? And the next day you turn around and you start going, how did you get so close now on my doorstep that I can see you plain and clear? That's when everybody want to freak out. It's just like 2000. Hey, I'll find a video. Did I not? I'll find a video. I sat up there at that Capitol and I said, look, dude, something's about to happen that y'all don't even have the clue understand. You got to get in the streets and understand what's going on. And if you're not in the streets, you don't understand. But what I'm telling you, something is about to happen, and we don't. And boom, what happened? George Floyd. What? And it went kaboom. The problem with these guilty white liberals back in the day, they never did any research. They don't understand that the mentality is take over. It's not work with you. It's tribal. Take over. It's not work with you. It's a tribal clan mentality. We're going to take over. We're going to come in and we're going to destroy your way and make it our way. And that's what you're going to live with from that point on. Y'all don't understand that because you don't do your research. Oh, we researched it. And we were like, no, we don't want that in our community. And the white Catholics and the libertarian, all of them was like, we're putting them in your community. Because they ain't going any farther than that. We're able to hold the drugs in your community, and we can hold the people. And that's what they thought. They thought for sure they were going to put these people in the black community, into the ghettos, and these people were going to stay in the ghettos like black people do. That's what they thought was going to happen. And then these people, unlike black people, said, we want what y'all have. We don't not what black people have, because they ain't got nothing. We want what you have, right? And then they started moving out. They started moving out to Edina. They started moving out. Where the black family went out. Can you imagine a black man being the mayor of St. Louis Park? Think about that for a second. If you're here in Minnesota, you know what I'm talking about. Can you imagine a black man, a African American descendant of slaves, a foundational black American, a black man whose mom and dad both ancestors came off the slave ship? Can you think about that for a second? Can you imagine St. Louis Park having a black man as mayor? You can't, can you? No, you can't. No, you can't, because you know that would never happen. But another group of people was smart, and they came in up under the radar. And by the time the people over in St. Louis Park even realized, it was too late. Look it up. Look, you can look up everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm talking about. It was too, by the time they realized, it was too late. Same thing's going to happen to Edina. Same thing's going to happen to Bloomington, Burnsville, Lakeville, Apple Valley. Go to Hopkins. Go to Hopkins over by the baseball field. You tell me. You tell me. Same thing is going to happen to Hopkins. They were able to control us. They were. That's why we're in the mess we're in right now. So when people sit there and say, oh, well, are you serious about Mayor Fry? I'm dead serious, because I know Mayor Fry is the stopgap. Now, has he done things that even I have to sit here and go, dude, you're wrong for that? The no-knock warrant, he was wrong for that. And he should have answered for it. He still should answer for it. And that's one of the things that I'm going to talk to him about when we have this meeting. Where were you on that raid? Why isn't that cop? They unlocked the door. Before they knocked, they unlocked the door. Remember, before he goes over that threshold, he has, even though it's a no-knock warrant, before he goes over that threshold, he has to announce, correct? He did not do that. They shot and they killed that kid who had a right to have a firearm. Look, if I'm in bed or I'm laying on my couch and my front door open, knowing that if I'm on my couch, that means I fell asleep with my firearm, I would show you, but they'll probably kick me off here. I don't walk around without this here. Even in my house, I'm down here right now, I got it. This goes everywhere I go. I'm not playing that noise with nobody. But if I'm on my couch, or if I'm down here right now, so I'm down here right now and I'm talking to you, and I hear a bunch of boom, 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 boom going on upstairs, and I come upstairs and I got mine out, I'm in my own house. I got my card that gave me every right to have that firearm, just like that kid did. They shot and killed that kid. Shot and killed him. And you're right. Mayor Fry should be answering for that death. He should. Because he's the one that gave the okay for the no-knock warrants. Even though Fry decided that he was going to run on the fact that he was going to do away with the no-knock warrants. Sure enough. But this isn't about that right now. That's not what this is about. This isn't about cops. We can deal with that in a few minutes. This is about stopping socialists, stopping people who want to not work with us. They don't want to work with us. Hell, half the fights that black kids get in right now is what? Black kids and Somali kids, correct? Tell you exactly what the kids on the street says. Black kids don't like the Somalis. Somalis don't like the black kids, correct? Now, this is what I can tell you. Ain't nothing going to be done for us. I know that and you know that. I know that and you know that. But yet we gonna hate on Fry, thinking you're gonna if Fry is not in office, y'all think y'all gonna do better. You're gonna get better. If Fry isn't in office, y'all think you're gonna get better. Okay. 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 I want to be the first to put this out here. If by year 2, if Fry is not in office, you're going to hear black folks in North Minneapolis crying like you would not believe. And you know what I'm going to say? You got what you voted for. You know what I'm going to say? I told you so. I told you. How you going to, even though the police hands are tied, they can't do much. They can't chase. They literally can't. They ain't got enough people to do anything. If you completely take police off the streets, completely take them off the streets, completely, you got 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-year-old boys walking around here right now as we speak. As I'm on this mic, there are 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-old kids who are walking around right now with guns as we speak. And you're going to tell me that there shouldn't be no police. What do you say? We need public safety, no need. What? See, and that's what I'm talking when people say this here type of stuff, right? So this just popped up. People Power Podcast, that's the name of the person who did this. We need public safety. No one needs police. But they never tell you what the public safety is. They can tell you they don't need police. Oh, we need public safety. What is that's what I've been asking. What is it, if you got rid of the police, all gone, no police cars, no police departments, no 911, none of that. All of that's gone. All of that's gone. Say, we need public safety. What is the public safety? The dude who wants to be mayor, that's what he says. That's his thing. We need public safety. What is public safety? No police now. No police. So when Yeye and Marco are shooting each other in the streets, and those rounds are going into everyone's homes, what public safety is going to come out? What public safety is going to do some type of investigation to find out who shot up whose house? So if somebody wants to tell that this dude got murdered, I saw the murder. Who do I go tell that I saw the murderer and I know what the murderers look like? And if the murderer that I told on comes to my house to threaten me, who do I call, because they're right across the street from my house threatening my wife and my kids and everybody? Who do I call? Public safety? What public safety do I call? Please, let Let me know. I mean, if you can put this stuff out there. So he said, hold on, maybe we got an answer. So he said, we need public safety. No one needs police because they do not provide public safety. It's really that simple. And he said, Rev, stop letting your oppression control the narrative. Oppression? My oppression control the narrative? The Panthers understood we needed public safety and the KKK wouldn't provide. We shooting each other in the streets. And you want to hit me with the Panthers? We shooting. Help me on. Wait a minute. No. Let's do this. So we shooting each other in the streets with police. And if we didn't have police, are you saying we wouldn't be shooting each other in the streets? Is that what you're saying? Because you brought in the Panthers as if the people with the guns in the streets right now, they actually are public safety. The people in the streets with the guns right now, are you saying they are going to be our public safety? If you're saying the Black Panthers understood we needed public safety, I understand we need public safety. But the people with the guns right now, the 16-year-old that shot the 11-year-old, would that be public safety? How do we make sure the 16-year-old and 11-year-old are not getting firearms to shoot and kill each other? The girl that got shot in the head in Boom Island, the person that shot her, would that person be part of public safety? I mean, if we're gonna talk about, let's have this conversation. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. So, what is public safety? That's what I'm asking you. See, we can do it. We can put it out there, but you ain't told me what public safety was. You told me the Panthers understood public safety, but what are you talking about when it comes to public safety? And then we put in the Klan. The KKK wasn't providing that for our community. Well, the KKK isn't providing that either. The KKK isn't the one that's killing us in our community. So what do the KKK got to do with this? The KKK cops. I've said this here, and I'll say it again. I said it earlier today. We have a system that is broke, a system that needs to be fixed. And we can go all the way back to the slave catchers, is what I'm saying. Because we understand and realize, and I understand what you say when you say KKK cops. I understand that. Because it was cops who let them hang black men when they came to get a black man, correct? Cops did that. Cops never protected us. Okay? So I'm going to speak your language for a second. I'm going to speak your language for a second. Right? So you said cops have paid informants lied to. I understand that, man. See, that's what I'm saying. Y'all act like y'all want to sit there because I'm showing you something that someone said to me. Now you want to get all upset at me. So hold on. I'm going to speak your language here right now. Okay? I understand what the police did. I grew up in the South, right? I was born under segregation. When I was born, when I came home from the hospital, my mom and my dad could not stop and use a white bathroom. I know that. On Wednesdays, my mom and dad is the only day that we could go to zoo in Memphis. So I know what segregation is. I understand that when my mom and dad went to the movies and now I was born, I had to sit up top with them. Understood that. Understood that my dad, when he walked on the sidewalk and a white woman walked on that same sidewalk, he had to get off. I get all of that. I get that. I know that. We can beat that drum all damn day. And I got every right to beat it because I am that kid. My birth certificate says Negro. Don't say African American. Don't say black. It says Negro. I was the last group of kids with that label. Understand all of that stuff. My grandfather, when they was out protesting in Memphis, Tennessee, before Martin Luther King showed up, got bit by the dog. Nah. All the protests, the water hoses, all of that stuff that the cops did. I know for a fact when we read in these lynching stories where it says a mob of white people goes to the jail and pulls a black man out of the jail, they had to get the key from the police, correct? And you're going to sit there and you're going to tell me that police did not recognize his mechanic. He didn't recognize his baker. He didn't recognize no one in his small town who came and got that black man and hung him. So we have a history with the police not loving and wanting to be around the police. Well, white people sit there and say, we are all for the blue, no matter what they do. We don't say that. Well, white people say, oh, that flag is this important. What did Fannie Lou Hamer say? Our blood is drenched in that flag. So we don't see that flag the same way everybody else do. I don't have a flag outside my house. I would never fly a flag outside my house. Just don't do it. Why? Because there were my uncles who came back from Vietnam and was treated so poorly. Black men who fought for World War II. And they told them, when you come back, you're going to get an education, you're going to get land, you're going to get everything that these white men. And they sold them short on that. So why should I fly a flag outside my house? That flag don't represent who I am at all. So I understand what you're saying, People Power Podcast. I get that. I can put it down just as well as you can. Because I lived through it. I'm 60 plus years old. I lived through it. First time I was ever called a nigger, it wasn't in my house. It wasn't in my community. It was at E.E. Jeter Elementary School by a white kid on a merry-go-round when he told all the black kids to get off the merry. He said, all you niggers get off and push. And all the black kids got off the merry-go-round. Except for me, because I didn't know what that was. Because we never said that word in my house. That's the first time I've ever been called a nigger by a white kid at E.E. Jeter Elementary School. I will never forget that. I will never forget walking to Mr. John Gaston's store on Garnett Street in Shelby County, Tennessee. What we was told, to be woke. And what they said, when the trucks come, get off the road. What we was told, when the trucks stop, run to the field. Who drove the truck? The white man. There's a reason why we was told that. There's a reason why we said we needed to be woke. I can spit that all day long. I can sit here and tell you, yep, the reason the Panthers, because I had my little Black Panther going to Millington High School. I had my beret. I had my black on. I was a junior Panther. Yeah, the Panthers had to protect their neighborhood because the cops were so bad. When Malcolm X came to L.A., was asking people, who told you to hate yourself? I can get on this thing and I can do this all day long. I can. I can talk about, just like you said here, the Minneapolis Police Department, who they killed, who they framed. I had Byron Harper's daughter right here talking about that. Nobody talks about Myron Burrell, what happened before the noisy people got to it. They don't tell you Myron Burrell's wife and his sister sat in front of me and my wife at my church asking me to help them with that case. They don't tell you that I met with Keith Ellison, with Myron Burrell, wife, sister, and Nicole, right there at the State House. They don't tell you that. They don't tell you I was part of the people who shut down Amy Klobuchar's presidential bid there in St. Louis Park at that school. Took over the stage for Myron Burrell, a black man. They don't tell you that I made phone calls for Marvina Hayes and Myron Hayes. Made phone calls for that. Working with Philip Vance right now up in Rush City. Then I had Byron Harper Sr., who just the other day, what did Mary says? This man shouldn't be behind bars. Had her on fighting for that. Don't tell you. I don't tell you how many meetings I go to for the incarcerated. These people who have these meetings. But look, what I tell you all of that to say this here. I'm working for my people because we are in trouble right now. We are. When I sit down with clergy, and clergy sit there and say they won't work with this person, this person, this person, this person, and that person's black. When I sit down with these so-called leaders of the community and they say I won't work with this person, this person, this person, this person, and this person's black, we've got problems. But we want to blame everybody but us because that 11-year-old boy was black, the 16-year-old boy was black, and they shot each other. That wasn't the cops. The 3 babies that I wrote checks out to, the 3 families of those 3 babies that my foundation wrote checks out to, those were black people. They weren't cops. And we can blame the cops for a lot of things. I got just as many complaints to the 4th precinct, I guarantee you, as you do. But when our people are out here shooting and killing each other for a corner, for the drugs that they selling, y'all can kiss my black ass with that. Do not come at me with this here crap. If you ain't willing to come and help and work and do what I'm doing, I ain't got time for you right now. Right now, what we need to be doing as black people is coming together. Because if this dude gets in the office, you better believe you're done. All y'all better believe you're done. All of you better believe you're done. I guarantee you, if this dude gets in the office, black folks in the state of Minnesota better call it quits. I'm not willing to have that happen. Now, what I can do is we can put a stopgap, and then we get on Mayor Fry's ass like we should have been doing from day one. That's what the problem is. We can't come together, so we decide to blame everybody else. Oh, it's the cops' fault black kids are shooting and killing each other. It's the cops' fault these black boys are selling all this here drugs on it. It's the cops' fault these black girls are running around here right now selling themselves on the corner, having abortions. It's the cops' fault mom and dads don't know where their kids is in the black community. It's the cops' fault these black men ain't doing their job. Oh, it's the cops. Oh, I forgot. Not only the cops, but the KKK cops. Y'all better kiss my black ass. No, we're not doing this. We're not doing it like this. Not with me. Now, if you want to go on over and you want to do all of that there, go on. I ain't stopping nobody from doing nothing. But what I'm saying is this here. Let's come together. We put things on pen and on paper. Here's what we need. But like I said before, when everybody don't want to work with each other, what are we supposed to do? No, seriously. When everybody don't want to work with each other, what are we supposed to do? We are so splintered as a people. It's not even funny. It's sad. It's what it is. It's sad. But it's everybody else's damn fault. When all those businesses shut down on Broadway, and I'm sitting here saying, who wants to go to the Capitol with me to talk to Tim Walz about bringing some capital into the black community so we can get some of these black businesses open? Because the only thing we're doing now is we having all these black businesses set up in tents. While everybody else, hold on, watch this. While everybody else got their own mall. Correct? Somali, how long they been here? They got their own mall. What we got? We ain't got nothing. You know what we do? We set up tents on Broadway. That's what we do. That's black marketing. We set up tents on Broadway. Why don't we have a mall like everybody else do? Why don't we have a shopping? Why don't we have, just like the Koreans have over there in St. Paul? We ain't got that. Why can't we come together with something like that where every black person, every black business owner has a little space? We have a place. Then everybody can go there. They can sell. They don't have to wait till Saturday, Sunday, and on certain occasions to sell it. I ain't seen that going on. But everybody else got it. We don't. We wait for the summer to roll around and put all our black merchants on Broadway and have them put up tents. Correct? Did the cops do that? Did the cops make us do that? Did they give us was that the cops? No. Kids ain't got summer jobs. Everybody else do. You go out to Maple Grove, them kids can work anywhere out there. You go out, go over there other side of St. Paul, them kids can work anywhere. Got jobs all over. We got grown-ups fighting for jobs at McDonald's. Did cops do that? Did the cops make it to where we can't have sit-down restaurants in Minneapolis? On Broadway? You can't have a sit-down restaurant? Did the cops do that? Should I blame the cops for that? Should I blame the cops for two people shooting at each other from across a gas station over here and a liquor store over here and people shooting back and forth? That's the cops doing that. When I'm standing in the parking lot of Murray's Liquor, and they out there on Lindale shooting at each other, and they look black to me, I blame the cops for that, is what you're saying. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I understand what cops do. I know cops lie. They have lied. They lied on Marion Burrell. They lied on the Haynes boy. They lied on Vance. They lied on Mr. Hooper. I know that. I know cops lie. 19 years I was a prison mentor. I've heard every story there is to hear. How police have lied. What police have done wrong. How police have coerced people to snitch on people, and it's a lie. How Brian Harper, they paid people to lie on this man. And this man did 27 years in prison because of what the police have done. Right now, the president of these United States decided to say, we're going to send troops into D.C. And here's the thing about that gets me. Washington, D.C. isn't the worst place in America that these troops need to be. My hometown of Memphis, Tennessee, always rank 1, 2, or 3 when it comes to the worst place to be. Sound like an old school rapper there for a second. If he was going to send those troops anywhere, that's where they should have been. Mississippi, St. Louis. But see, it's the Epstein thing that he wants everybody to forget. I'm not forgetting about it. He wants me to forget about the Epstein files, then he apologized to Central Park 5. That's my stance, and I will never come off that stance until he apologizes to Central Park 5. But getting back to what we talked about, I know how dirty the police is. Coming home from basketball, Navy Base Road in Millington, Tennessee. I mean football. Sorry, started football season summer during tour days. I had never done anything wrong to nobody. I was stopped by the police, was made to get down on the hot ground. Think about that. I'm down south, Millington, Tennessee, middle of the day. I'm laying down on the road, and they made me stay down on the road. I don't like the police because I know what they do. And they stood there while I laid down there on that hot cement. And I cried for days. I didn't tell my mom and dad what happened because, see, I didn't want to mess things up. And then my dad put in orders, and then we leave Memphis because we're from Memphis. And I know my mom wanted to come home from North Carolina. We was in Camp Lejeune, North Carolina. And when my dad got his orders, we got orders back to Memphis. But we went to Millington, the Navy base that was there. My dad was stationed there from 80 to 83. And I didn't want to tell my mom and dad what happened to the police because I didn't want my dad to go, that's it, we're out of here. Because I know my mom wanted to come home because she left in 1974. We left in 75 to Jacksonville, North Carolina. So what I'm telling you is don't get on my page and try to act like I don't know what's going on. Don't get on my page and try to act like I haven't been there. I have. But right now, the cops are not killing us. No, that's a fact. Police ain't shot. There's been more black on black killing than there's been a white cop killing a black person here within the last couple of weeks, last couple of months. Correct? I mean, let's be real. I mean, we're going to have the conversation. Let's have the conversation. The only difference is what I say. I can back that up. But when you tell me public safety, and you don't tell me what do you mean by public safety? When you can't answer that, then that tells me you're almost like one of these right wingers who just spewed out anything. Just to say something. So my question to you again, and I'm asking People Power Podcast. That's what you got here. People Power Podcast 1 or People Power Pod 1. What is public safety that you're talking about? No police. We're going to do away, like I said, close down every precinct. These guys can go get jobs somewhere else. Take the police cars with you. Take the bear with you. Take all the militarized equipment they have. All that's gone. But these people running around here breaking these windows in these cars, what would you do? How do we stop that? How do we catch these people? And this we got public safety, right? So are you saying that we should have, if we go back to the Black Panthers, are you saying we should have black men walking around the streets, public safety at night with firearms? That's what I'm asking you. If that's the public safety you're talking about, I can tell you why that wouldn't be a good thing. Because when George Floyd happened, most of these people who was walking the streets and the governor let them do it, I was one of them. The only difference between me and a lot of those people that had guns on the streets, I was licensed and trained. Most of those black men that you see all happy to take a picture for having a black man was not licensed, and a lot of them wasn't trained. Hell, one dude, gun went off right there. We were out one night, and I can get somebody on here and will tell you the same story. We was on Broadway. We was right there in front of the sandwich shop. This dude, no joke, this dude thought he heard somebody shooting at us. This is when we was walking Broadway. The dude turns around and just started shooting his gun up the street. Everybody started freaking out. Going, what is this dude shooting at? We ended up sending him home because he wasn't trained. So that's my question. If we're talking Black Panthers, are you talking about having people on the streets with firearms? Because if that's what you're saying, and if it's the people who were out there that night that we ended up having to send some people home because they wasn't trained and they wasn't licensed, if that's what you're saying, then I would rather have the police on the street. I would rather have, because I can tell you this here. There would be more shooting of people who look like us by them than the police. I can guarantee you that. Because the people that you're going to put on the street are more likely going to be trigger happy. That's why. They're not going to be trained. They're not going to be trained. And some of them can't even have a license. Wink, you know what I'm talking about. So when you're talking public safety, again, please clue me in. Let me know what public safety you're talking about. Because I can give you every reason why you can't have a militia walking down the streets at night with their firearm. You just can't do it. They're not trained and they're not disciplined enough to make that happen. Now, can I pull together a group of guys who are trained and who are disciplined? I can. Because these guys train themselves. They do the training. We train together. We go out and shoot. Hell, I was supposed to go shooting today. But most of these guys that you see walking around the street, was walking during the George Floyd, should have never had a firearm in their hand. Not walking the streets. Y'all don't even realize how unsafe that was. If any time I say the streets of Minneapolis was unsafe, there you go. Unsafe. Because half of us who have firearms, we don't train. I don't see. Look, I go to a lot of these here guns. I don't never see not one black person. I'm the only black person that rolls around Minnesota shooting in all these tournaments and stuff during the wintertime. IDPA. I don't never see. I have yet to walk in. I have yet to walk into a gun range during the summer, during the winter, because that's when I shoot the IDPA. I've yet, and another black man is in there. So if they're training, they got to be training somewhere else, because they ain't training nowhere near me. So what is public safety that we're talking about? So that's what I'm asking. You still haven't answered. I mean, you put up all of this stuff on my page. I can see what you're right. What is public safety? I would like to know, because the socialists. I know what he's gonna do. I know what he's going to do. So I'm just asking, when you say public safety, please explain to me. If you're going to accuse me of, all of this here stuff and say I'm this and I'm that, I just ask for one thing. Like I said, people call me what they want. But the thing about me, if I give you something, I can explain it. If I give you something, I can explain it. A lot of times, people just come on here and just throw something on my page, and then they run. That's what cracks me up. Then they run because they know more than likely, oh God, Rev got something for me. And more than likely I do. But what I can tell you is this, point blank. Policing needs fixing. I know that. I've said that over and over and over. Will there ever be a time that I'm going to sit back and say that we need to just completely demolish the police? No. We can make that work. We can make police work. We can make investigating crime work. We can make going after the bad guy work. But we also have to stop for 5 seconds and say, we got people in our community that just don't need to be in the community. No, seriously. I mean, if we're going to come down to that, if we're going to come down to the point where we're going to sit here and say that we shouldn't have police, then those people that's into the community that making us need the police, let's get those people out of the community. But poop, poop, see ya. See ya. But I'll be the first one to sit there and say, and I know people get mad, and that's fine with me. But I went home a couple of months ago to funeralize my aunt. And while I was there, I forget it, I stayed in Germantown. There was no way in the world I was going to North Memphis. No, you couldn't pay me. And the reason I wasn't going is because I've got to go down and get my driver's license in Memphis in order to get my carry license there. But I didn't have my firearm, so I wasn't going to North Memphis. But while we was there, every day for that whole week that I was home in Memphis, in Germantown, in Millington, there was a killing every day. Every day. Every day. And it wasn't the cops, because they got some of it on video of someone shooting someone. And it wasn't the cops. And it wasn't white people. It was us. So if Trump wanted to really do something right, if he really wanted to do something right, he would have sent them right there on Bill Street. He would have put them troops on Bill Street, sent them up to North Memphis, West Memphis. But this is a gag. This is a joke. This is so his base can sit there and clap like seals. They get the black people. They get the black people. If you're gonna do it, then send them to the worst places. D.C. is not one of the worst places. Just saying. If you want to do, you look, if sending the troops out on the street, meaning that we're going to have no more 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-year-old black boys dying here in Minnesota, I'm good with that. If I was, hey, look, I'm good with that. I'll put them out. I'll put them out. I have no problem. I have zero problem with that. If that's going to save a black mother from being on her knees crying, when that I was told at a news conference, when word got around in the community, watch this here. When word got around in the community that the black boy, 11 years old, got shot, they said 4 or more parents showed up looking for their kid, thinking that was their kid. Oh my God. You know what? I'm so sorry. Totally my fault. I am 24 minutes over. I did not realize I did not realize it. I just looked up and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm 24 minutes over. I am so sorry. Totally my fault. Like I said, I like to try to keep these things to an hour, and that's about it. And then so people won't be mad at me. Rev, you went over your hour, dude. I just couldn't hang in there with you. I understand. Totally my fault. I'm just at a point now that I know for a fact that if we don't get this right, if we as black folks here in Minnesota, I'm not talking about anywhere else. I'm not talking about anywhere else. I'm worried about my folks here. But if we don't get this right in Minnesota, if we don't get it right, it's over. You can call it quits. Call it quits. I don't know how many black people went over there to Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center, for when they had that Freedom Independence Day over there in Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center. Y'all, we can sit here and we can play. We can sit here and we can play with these here type people who have it in their head that things can't be done better and we can't work to make our community better by working with people. That's the whole thing that I've always said. I go all the way back to the point of sitting there saying the reason the dude asked me the other day, right? So we was at the church. Brad and I went over to Macedonia on last Sunday to hang out with Reverend Thomas. And the dude says, why are you starting at the top? He said, why don't you become a city councilman? Why don't you run for park board? Why don't you run for this and that? I said, because I can't make a difference there. I can't wake people up there. I can't make people see that together, if we got together as a people and start working together as a people. I said, but as lieutenant governor, I have an opportunity to go anywhere I want to. to sit down and talk to anybody that I want to talk to. And that's the problem that we're having right here, right now. Us small people don't count no more. We don't. We don't count no more. We are not important anymore. They don't care about us. They don't mean. What did they say? I'm trying to think of the dude's name. That Bernie Sanders was getting on Kamala Harris, and he was saying that she lost. Why? Because she forgot about the small people. The Democrats will tell you right here, right now, that they forgot about the small people. The Republicans don't never think about small people. Hell, the Republicans fought tooth and nail to make sure that police can fold kids up in balls. That's a fact. So if y'all think that they care about poor people, y'all are out your mind. You are out your mind. Hold on. When has Republicans done something for poor people? They haven't. Now, the Democrats use poor people, but at least they at least they're trying to help. They're trying to do something. Republicans don't do anything. They're poor. The Republicans' poor drug users come over to the blue because they know they'll get help. They know something will help them. They had people, they had food shelves, right? Somewhat shutting down, and they had the people from the red districts coming into the blue district getting food. And then the blue district was like, let me see a driver's license. Nope, you're not coming in here. And then this website tried to make it sound like that it was a black-white issue. It wasn't a black-white issue. The red districts was running out of food. Therefore, what did they do? They turned around and gave them and came into the blue districts to get food. And the blue districts was like, no, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. You need to go back to your own. We already take care of your drug addicts, which they do. Half the people that's down there, matter of fact, I was down there today. A lot of those people that's down there in St. Paul, in those homeless camps, they're not from St. Paul. A lot of those people who are in Minneapolis in those homeless camps, they're not from Minneapolis. That's why I told Fry. I said, dude, why don't you be like the president? Go in there and find out where these people are from, and then bus them back to their district. Let their districts take care of them. Let them go back out to Elk River, Otsego, Zimmerman, Clearwater, Clear Lake. Let them go back out to Buffalo. Hell, Buffalo. Speaking of which, that's what I was going to hit Dusty up with. So, Buffalo, Minnesota. Wouldn't have thought, but there's a reason why they're doing it. So Buffalo, Minnesota is about to get them a dispensary. They're about to become weed heads. Yeah. Yeah. You go out that way, you go out in that area. I mean, it's meth out that way. So hopefully, they open this dispensary in Buffalo. That's going to maybe, hopefully, cool a few people down. But that, as soon as I found out, I got to ask Dustin, do he know when that's going to be opening? Because I want to be there first day that damn thing open. Boy, there's going to be, and Anoka too. Boy, there's going to be a line around that building like you would not believe. Buffalo? Yeah, y'all believe, y'all about to see what we've been talking about. And hopefully, what I'm hoping is if they do that, then this will kind of slow down some of the drugs, the people coming into the city buying these drugs. You know, most people are coming to the city, they come in for the hard drugs. But if they give them something, like I said, Buffalo, there you go. Let's trade the weed in. Let's do the weed and let's get off of the meth. Buffalo, Minnesota. And then you don't need to come downtown. And hopefully that will cut out a lot of this shooting that's going on, these kids fighting each other for these corners. Right? But anyway, I can see the person did not come back and tell me what we need public safety means. Because they're not, this is what I'm telling you. These type people, right, who's on my timeline. Go to my timeline and you'll see who I'm talking about. These type people are not serious. They're not serious. That's why I don't take them serious, right? Because they're not serious at all. They're not looking to work. They're not looking to make things better. They're not looking for no type of change. They want one thing and one thing only, and that's what socialism is. Socialism believes in this without working, without moving, without doing anything that's going to help anybody else but themselves. And these Democrats, these liberals, these socialists, it's all about power. It's not about helping nobody. It's not about making lives better for nobody. That's not what this stuff is about. Period, point blank. I don't care what anybody says or how they say it. So I guess nobody has guessed what's new. So I'll tell you what's new. Check them out. The glasses. Got new glasses yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Had to go, went and picked them up today. So I wanted to go somewhere a little different. My grandson has clear glasses too. So I decided he's at ones just like this. So I was copying my grandson. So that's what's new. My glasses is new, right? Anyway, hey, I got to get off the same, fam. I appreciate y'all. Again, like I said before, those who continuously help us do the things that we do, we so appreciate you, big time. It's like I always say, we all together, we're gonna get where we're supposed to be going. I guarantee you. I think God got a place for us to be. God wouldn't have put us together and put us in this here arena that He got us in if He did not think that we can do good things. So I will be posting some other things. So if people wanted to send some stuff, if you want to send something, send something to the church to help feed people. We'll definitely appreciate that. Just let me know, hey Rev, I'm willing to help. It's hard to get people, like I said, I have to come on here and beg people. Everybody know what I do. I don't think I should always have to come on here and beg. People should just go, you know what? I'm going to do my godly part, my godly duty, and give you the opportunity to help somebody, Rev. So here it is. So other than that, I'm done. I've got nothing else, and if they're not going to answer my question, which apparently they're not because they don't have answers. This is what I'm telling you. Public safety. This is exactly what they said. We need public safety. No one needs police because they do not provide public safety. Okay, what is public safety? I'm not going to get an answer to that. Why? Because they don't know what it is. It's what socialist says, and they're using it as a talking point. It's just something they could say. It makes them feel good that they can throw something out there. What is public safety? What is it? I want to know. I want to know what public safety is. Somebody tell me what public safety looks like. How would we march into public safety? If we get rid of the police, dismantle the police, tear down the police department, sell the police cars, let the bear go, sell all the militarized equipment and everything. Nobody gets to call 911. What does that look like? I guarantee you I will not get an answer from any one of these. Hold on. Let's see who has joined. Oh, some other people. Jacqueline. Who's this person? Brave New One. So you've joined the fray. Who else has joined the fray? Commando Ohio. You have joined the fray. People Podcast. Okay. Who else is on this? Who else is with you? I don't know who this person is. But these are the people. I'm asking for an answer from you people. I want it, Jacqueline. Somebody, they won't answer me. Why? Because they don't have an answer. Not one of these people have an answer. Period, point blank. Anyway, I'm out of here, fam. I appreciate y'all. Again, thank you very much. I will more than likely see you on Friday. Y'all have a good one. And we're going to end the night like we always end the night, realizing and understanding that we serve a mighty, unbelievable God. A God who said, I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. Nobody can make a promise to you like that. Nobody. Now, mom, dad, uncle, sister, brother, nobody. Because there could be a time that they will walk away from you. But the good Lord says, I will never leave you and I will never forsake you. The good Lord has given us that promise. And for that and that alone, that should put a smile on your face. And y'all know what we should do? We should go and smile at somebody. So somebody smile back at us. Fam, y'all have a good one. And if y'all run into somebody who can tell you all what public safety is, please let me know what it is. Because these people can't answer a simple question. They can put it on my timeline, but they can't answer that question. I appreciate you, fam. Y'all have a good night. We'll talk to you on Friday. Peace. I'm out.